It's really exciting that in 2022 we're getting new Stargate goodies. The shows have been off the air for over a decade now, and while we're waiting for Amazon and MGM to announce a new series, we do have new merch, and I've been excited about this for months now, waiting for this box to arrive. The box is here. I want to open it up and show you what's inside. This is from Eagle Moss. Eagle Moss is a UK-based company that does model ships. You might be familiar with their Hero Collector line for Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, The Expanse, all our other sci-fi favorites. They're finally doing Stargate ships. So let's see what they sent. There are 3 ships that have been released so far, and I got 2 of them. We got the Death Glider, which is ship number 3. We'll get into that. And oh, I've been looking forward to this one. This is ship number 2, the Goa'uld Mothership. This is the Hatak class Goa'uld Mothership. The one that I'm still missing is the first in the series, which is the Daedalus, the deep space carrier BC-304. The Daedalus is currently out of stock on their website, but if you use the link in the description below to go over to Hero Collector, you can pick these up. They're about $60 each US. I'm excited about the Hatak, but let's start with the Death Glider. Here's the Death Glider in the new Stargate ships line from Hero Collector, published by Eagle Moss. Okay, styrofoam casing here, and there she is. There's our Death Glider. Let's see what else comes in here. Ooh, nice heavy base for the stand. The underside of the stand says Death Glider. Mine says 2431AA. I don't know if that's a unique production number or not. There's a sticker down here. This is also a felt base, so that's gonna avoid too much slipping around. It's got some nice texture there to keep it in place. And that'll set in right like that. Okay, let's take a closer look at the Death Glider itself. We've got the canopy. We've got 2 staff cannons mounted to the base. These, I believe, are based on the original production models. Of course, they used miniatures in the feature film, but when Stargate SG-1 came around, I think the models are all digital. So they got the digital files to reproduce what we see here. This is really nice. It has a bit of a weight to it. This is made of plastic and die-cast metal, and it's got details in here. You can see the etching on the wings. The canopy looks pretty basic. Does it open? No, it doesn't open. And if we look inside, nope, there's nobody home. There's a couple of seats in there, but there's no little Jaffa piloting it. So that looks awesome. Let's try it on this. This stand has a sort of dual prong. Looks like it wants to hold it like that. There, really cool, nice stand. It sits pretty low, right? So these wingtips, just as with the glider is supposed to be, if it were to land on the surface, the wingtips run very low to the ground. So there's not quite enough clearance here for my fingers to go under without bumping it. Okay, ready to check out the next one. This is the one that I've been waiting for. If I had the money, I would buy 10 of these just to have my own fleet on my desk. But let's open up the Goa'uld Mothership. The Hatak class mothership was introduced in the first season of Stargate SG-1. The very first time that we saw one was in the episode Singularity, when Nearty's mothership arrives at Cassandra's planet. We just see it on a display monitor, and Teal'c calls it a Goa'uld attack ship. And I'm not sure if this is right, but I think that Hatak later developed from attack, an attack ship. But by the end of the first season, when the team actually gates onto Chlorel's attack ship headed to Earth, it's referred to as a Hatak. And there it is. This is worth the wait. This thing is beautiful in person. So let's pull out the stand first. Each ship is going to have its own unique way of attaching to the stand. So this one's just a short little post with a triangle. So the post will go into the base and the ship will sit on that triangle. Oh my goodness, this thing is perfect. I have wanted Stargate ships, believe me, for 20 years. I've wanted stuff like this, not just to play with, of course, but to display. And boy, Eagle Moss has done a stellar job. If you watch the channel, if you watch our ships of the Goa'uld Empire or the Goofgate video, we point out the fact that the base of the Hatak is a triangle. It's a 3-sided pyramid down here rather than 4-sided, which is show accurate. There's lots of shots throughout the series and the movie Continuum where we see the Hatak from below, and it's a 3-sided pyramid, not a 4-sided at the base. The 4-sided pyramid ship, like Ra's ship, that one shows up in the feature film, and Eaglemoss, if you're listening, we'd love to get a pyramid ship eventually. But you know, I want a puddle jumper, and I want Destiny, and I'd love to have an Atlantis model. That would be incredible. This has the pyramid inside, and then this superstructure around, again, is going to be based on the actual on-screen ships from the show. I think, again, with reference to the CG models. So there's a gap here in the top. This doesn't come into contact with the pyramid on the inside, although there are struts in the middle. There are 3 struts that attach to the side of the pyramid down in here. The weight is good. It's not too heavy. Again, it's made of plastic and die-cast metal. It doesn't feel like a toy, but it's definitely on the light side. It's a display piece. I wouldn't necessarily want to give it to my kid to run around and play with at $60, but let's try it in the base here. I might take this out into the backyard and play with it, to be honest. If you have one of these ships, I'd be really curious if these are individually numbered. My mothership is number 1224 AA. Again, that nice felt base that's going to help it to avoid slipping. And we'll put the peg in. It fits in there securely. There's just a little bit of movement. And now this triangle base can fit right into our Hatak. It doesn't snap. You're not going to get a click to tell you that it's in. Rather, it just sits there. It sits on top of the stand. And it's got a little extra triangle rim here to kind of hold it in place. So you don't want this around kids who are going to run past it and bump it. It's definitely going to fly off. But if it's sitting on your shelf like it's going to be on mine, it's pretty secure on here. I mean, it's secure if nobody's touching it. If you have an earthquake, well, you might want to pick it up. Again, the detailing on this is really, really fantastic. Finely etched details that make it look like not just a hunk of plastic that was cut out or 3D printed. It's got these fine details all around the outside of the superstructure and on the surface of the pyramid itself. The pyramid has this, again, screen accurate mix of the gold and the silver look to it. Not sure what these dots are. These must be in the screen accurate model. Next time I watch the show, I'm gonna have to look for these dots around the edge. When the Daedalus first came out, I thought that there were a couple of inconsistencies on the surface of the Daedalus until I went back and looked it up on the show, and no, they were there. They were there, and Eaglemoss made exactly what appears on the show. Now, of course, these are not to scale. This would be a giant death glider coming in to attack the System Lords. So there you have it, 2 of the 3 new Stargate ship models from Eaglemoss in the Hero Collector line. Again, check out the links below. You can still order these as long as they're available. They are being made, I think, in limited quantities though, so get while the getting's good. This is not a sponsored video, but Eaglemoss did send us these models to review, so a big thanks to them. They've also offered to answer any questions from Stargate fans. If you want to post them in the comments below, we'll pass them on and see if we can set up some kind of Q&A with the folks over at Eaglemoss. I know that many of us, the next question is, what ship is next? Well, when are you going to make an F302? When are you going to make a puddle jumper? When are you going to make Destiny? Those are great questions, and we're definitely going to ask. You can check out our website over at GateWorld.net, and we'll be announcing the next ship as soon as Eaglemoss tells us what it's going to be. We'll get a photo gallery, and you can line up and get ready for pre-orders. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.